up, everyone? Clark Smith Adventures. This is a story time rant. I'm gonna show you the old apartment that I used to live at, which was full of not only pimps and hoes, but drugs and crime. We only lived there for about a month, not even a month, because in the state of Maryland, if you move out before a month, you break your lease before a month is over, then you don't have to pay like the whole year. It's actually written in a law. It might just be Baltimore County, I'm not quite sure, but we rolled out because of the situation that we had to go through. It was terrible. Why we moved out here, I do not know. We were sick of paying really high rent in Towson, Maryland. Okay, we had the neighbors from hell. It was extremely noisy, extremely loud. The apartment was nice itself, but we couldn't take it anymore. Just the cost of living. I mean, we were paying over $1,700 a month to live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we weren't even impressed with the area. The only reason why we picked that place was because it was so close to my husband's old job. He left that job. But so we moved out here because it was substantially cheaper. The place is called, it's coming up, it's called Eagles Walk Apartments. If you are interested, newly renovated, my ass. They're disgusting apartments. If you're looking for an apartment, do not come here. Do not come here. You will be terrorized. This place is insanely terrible. Insanely terrible. And we hated it. We had to get the hell out. It was literally to a point where our lives were at stake at this point. Yeah. So this is it. Eagles Walk Apartments. So anyway, before I show you the apartment, let me put it in park. It looks very nice. Looks are very deceiving here. They're very deceiving. Note to everyone looking for a place to live, always, and we learned this the hard way, always read reviews. Always read reviews. Always. Because if we would have read the reviews, we would have never moved into these shithole ass apartments. Ever. I have Raven here with me. Hi, Raven. Hi, Raven. It's hot, of course, and she's freaking out, even though I got the AC blasting. But you always read reviews. If we would have read the reviews, we would have been like, oh no. Hail to the no. Hold on. Anyway, hi everyone. Some of the reviews stated like, there's a gang of squirrels on my roof, and they're taunting me. And I was like, what? Another review was a raccoon held my son in the hallway, held him hostage in the hallway. These are like real reviews. The rental office here they do not care. They do not care about you at all. They do not care. Some other reviews, sorry, my arm's getting tired, is, the drugs. There's people out on the corners. I mean, I don't care what you do. If you want to be out on the damn corner, then whatever. Do you, boo. But it's just the level of danger. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm kind of anxious being here because it was such a traumatic experience, and I still have like PTSD. I still think about it to this day. So I'll show you. I'm gonna start driving around, of course, but I will show you what I'm talking about. Okay? God, my finger's in the way. Hold on, I got cars behind me. I don't know what they're doing. So we're gonna go up to the leasing office first before I show you the shithole I lived in. It looks very nice on the outside. Here's the leasing office coming up. This brick building. Since we were here a month, and there was literally like 5 different people. Like five different people. I couldn't get a straight answer from anybody. The apartment that they showed us was like up here. It was here, the one on the end. And we were like, oh, that's real nice, you know, it's quiet. I thought that's the one that we were gonna get. So then we moved in, and it was a totally different apartment. And I'm like, it just doesn't make any sense. You know, why would you show us one and we put a deposit on it, and then they did the old switcheroo at the last minute? And I was like, I was not happy about it at all. And it was a different layout. Yes, it was a bigger apartment, but it was a different layout. And it was, so, you know, I was really confused. And, but I didn't say anything because, you know, we moved into a, you know, a bigger apartment for the same price as the smaller one, okay? You think, oh, that's great. No, it was not great at all. It was traumatic. The people upstairs, well, first of all, let me start by saying that there was a weird lady that used to hang out in the parking lot, okay? And she used to ask me, you know, she was nice, so I thought, and she used to ask me all kinds of questions. And I think, you know, I'm just thinking maybe she's just curious about, you know, like what's going on or whatever. You know, we're new, we just moved in. She's asked me, like, you know, do you like it? And how are your neighbors upstairs? And I'm like, well, you know, I told her, I was like, I don't know them, but they're like super, super duper loud. And, you know, and she's just like grilling me about stuff. And I just thought it was kind of weird. And the neighbors upstairs, literally there was a lady, well, sorry, there was one man, okay, a younger guy, probably in his 30s, and it was all these women. There was like 4 or 5 women that lived up, and this is like a 2-bedroom 800 square foot apartment you're talking about, okay? There's like literally like all these women and all these children. I mean, I'm talking like 8 children upstairs, screaming, banging, jumping, running, okay? And I'm like, this shit doesn't make any damn sense. At first, it was quiet. But then it became way too much. It was way too much. I mean, I'm talking like these kids would like bang and jump and run and scream and, you know, do all kinds of shit for like 8 hours straight. And nobody was watching these children. Nobody gave a shit that these kids were like screaming. I mean, I'm talking like there was a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old. Like, I'm talking like, these are all little kids, okay? And I have to remember all this shit now. I kind of just put it out of my mind. So then, one night, This is like a couple days after we moved in. You know, I was like, okay, you know, I can get past, you know, the whole kid thing. I'll turn the TV up. I'll put earplugs in. But one night, we heard them fighting upstairs. Like literally screaming, fighting, yelling. They were pounding, throwing. He obviously was like throwing her in the wall so hard that my pictures fell off the wall. It was shaking my ceiling. It was shaking my walls. And I'm like, holy shit, this mofo downstairs is killing, or upstairs, sorry. Upstairs is killing her. Like he's murdering her. Like it sounded like she was being murdered. Okay. So I'm like, oh my God, what do we do? And we called the police because I didn't know what else to do. I didn't want to see like some woman that I don't know get murdered, and she's got a bunch of kids up there and other women, and I'm like, what in the Sam hell, you know? And so the police came, and you know, this and that, and they were just so loud. So somehow they found out that we were the ones that called the police, even though we didn't give our names. I guess they just assumed it was us because, you know, which we did, but I'm just saying, like, they assumed it was us because we're new, and I'm like, you know, it's just me and my husband and our dogs, and, oh, and that's another thing, the animals were so freaked out living here. They were so freaked out because of all the noise. First of all, you go into the apartment, and it smells heavily of marijuana, which I'm like, whatever. But it's like, you know, you got dirty diapers in the hallway. You got trash. You've got wrappers, Tampax wrappers. It was just trifling. This place is trifling, okay? If you want cheap rent, then fine. If you want cheap rent, then fine, okay? I just wonder, it's been years since we lived here. We moved out 2 years ago, but this is the apartment right here, this one, and we lived on the bottom floor, and those fools lived on the top floor, on the second floor, with like 5,000 children. I don't know if they're still living there. I hated it here. It was absolutely disturbing living here. I couldn't get rest. I couldn't get sleep. I mean, they're up at 1 a.m. screaming, punching, banging, laughing, stomping, like 2 a.m. I'm like, I have to work. My husband has to work. Like, shut the fuck up. Sorry for cussing. Shut the hell up. Shut up. And they didn't care. They're trifling people, you know. My other neighbors I didn't have a problem with. It was just the ones on top of us. Let's see if they're back here. And every time I would go out and have a cigarette, they would come out. I guess just to spy on us. Or spy on me to see what the hell I was doing. I mean, other than that, people were nice, and, you know, they'd wave and shit. I mean, that's one thing about Baltimore area, is that, you know, people will be nice. It's Maryland. It's kind of southern in a way. But these people were trifling. So anyway, what really did it for us is one night, they started up again, and the kids were screaming, and we were like, I can't take it anymore. And so, I don't know. Oh, I know what happened. The one day, okay, let me back up here. See where there's like a bunch of like wood and shit. Let me see if I can zoom in. That one, the second floor. Well, we lived right below, right there. And what happened was, I know what happened. Oops, sorry, let me do the camera. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So anyway, I don't see anyone. I don't know. I think they still live there. They're trifling, nasty people. But, what happened was there was a bunch of commotion. Like, our walls were shaking. Our walls were shaking. And all you hear was screaming, jumping, banging. And this was going on and finally my husband was like, I can't take this. And he walked outside because they always had their patio balcony open. And he looked up. And I guess they saw him looking up like, what the F? Like, who is up there? And he comes back in and he's like, it's a bunch of people on their phones with a bunch of kids running around. That's all it is. So the next thing you know, that night, the one guy that lives there, I guess he's the pimp, and all the other girls were the hoes, and all the children were his kids or his clients' kids. Who the hell knows? He comes running downstairs and is like in my husband's face, in my face. He wants to like punch me. I said, bruh, try it. I'm 6 feet tall. Don't even think. I'm like a white Medea up in this bitch, okay? Don't even think I'm gonna back down to you, because I will fold you like a piece of paper. Like, don't even. But my husband wouldn't let me. I let him handle it. He kept pushing me back. And I'm like, look, shut the hell up upstairs. You know, like, we can't take it. You know, and they were screaming, and he was like, he's threatening to kill us. He said, you know, better watch our back and this and that, and we're not leaving. And I'm like, well, obviously, because you're on assistance. Okay, you can be on assistance, whatever. I've been on assistance. Okay, it's fine. Okay, but why do you have like 12 people living in a 2-bedroom apartment? What are you all doing upstairs? And it constantly smelled like weed. It was constantly smelling like weed. But getting back to the lady that kept asking me questions. Later on, I saw her laughing with them, you know, about me and us. So I'm like, yeah, you got your spy. I gave the spy, you know, certain information, but I didn't go into detail. If I don't know you, I'm not going to be like, you know, oh my God, this is my whole life story. Like, what the hell? I got to turn my 4-ways on. They can it. People probably think I'm waiting here for a damn drug deal, because that's what people do around here. But yeah, that's the apartment. That's where we lived. It was hell. It was hell. They made it hell after that situation where the guy came, the pimp came down in our face, and was threatening to kill us. So then we had to call the police again. And then we were talking to the rental office. They could give a shit. They didn't want to get involved. They didn't want to move us. So I said, well, we have no choice. We're leaving. And my husband found the apartment that we live in now. It has been a godsend, knock on wood, because, you know, I don't need no freaking maniacs coming up, living with us, or living near me. But, yeah, that's the situation. And that night, yeah, you son of a bitches. Yup. I think they moved out. I literally do, actually. Because I had never seen that place so clean. Because when I lived there, they was funky. They had like toys out for all their children. Their 9,000 children. What are you doing, car? So that's it. That's my rant. It was a horrible situation. I'm glad that we escaped. Literally, dude was gonna kill us. That's how I felt. My husband was like, I was more like, please, bruh. You know, like he he was very emotional. I'm like, obviously, you know, you're dealing with a bunch of women, so, you know, you're going to be emotional. He was extremely emotional and just like in our face and telling us that we ain't leaving. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because you probably get free rent. Because y'all, there's like 12 of y'all. Look, look. I don't fault anybody. I don't fault anyone for getting free shit. Period. Okay? Because I am anti-government. I know how our government rolls. If shit. If they gonna give it away, I'm gonna take it. That's how I am. That's how I learned. But before I go, that was my rant. There, years ago, I don't know what house it is. Just fun fact. On this road right here, when I worked at Baltimore County Animal Control. Oh, Raven, what do you see? There was a house on this road that had like 8 or 9 fighting pit bulls that we confiscated. This is the road that they lived on. This road. Nice houses. Oh, and the guy had alligators in the basement. He had alligators in the basement, which were kind of big. And he had fighting pit bulls. Fighters. So, yeah. Whatever happened to the dogs? I don't know what house it was. It was a big house. I forget. It happened so long ago. A couple dogs died in our shelter because they were just so. We didn't put any of them to sleep. Okay, I think one. We put like one to sleep because it was just. It was like a risk. Then like one died in the shelter. Because it had a lot of health issues. And then the rest went to like different rescue groups. I don't know what house it was, but it happened like so long ago. And the alligators went to a rescue facility in like Virginia somewhere, like Reston, Virginia. But anyway, that was my rant. I thank you guys for tuning into my channel. It helps a lot if you hit the like button and subscribe, and I really appreciate it. And thank you for taking the time to listen to my rant and my story. Hello, what are you doing? What are you doing? He looked at me like this crazy bee. All right, well, everyone have a good day. I'm gonna try not to kill myself here. All right, love y'all.